with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Winds 50 knots. Thunderstorms in the evening. The showers through the night. The thunderstorms after midnight. Winds 50 knots. Big water smooth. The showers and thunderstorms. Winds 50 knots. Big water smooth. The showers and the thunderstorms. Through Monday. Winds 50 knots. The showers and thunderstorms. The showers and thunderstorms after midnight. The showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Monday night. Winds 50 knots. The showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Winds 50 knots. The showers and thunderstorms. The typical outlook. 1 to 10. Typical cyclone is not expected to next days. Station KHP 34, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.55 MHz, serving southeast Florida, and originating from the National Weather Service Forecast Office, located on the main campus of Florida International University. Sunrise and sunset information for Miami. Sunrise Thursday, 6:30. Sunset Thursday, 8:15. Sunrise Friday, 6:30. Sunset Friday, 8:15. The forecast ultraviolet index score is 5. This exposure level is in the moderate category. The next 4 tides at the Miami Harbor entrance are high tide, Thursday, 7:50 p.m. Low tide, Friday, 1:35 a.m. High tide, Friday, 7:54 a.m. Low tide, Friday, 1:40.
AZB. I'm in Fiesta and I'm ready for early check-in.
thunderstorms. Night, east winds around 5 knots. Bay water smooth. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. Sunday through Monday, east-southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Bay waters a light chop. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, then slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Monday night, east-southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Bay waters a light chop. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Tuesday, east-southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Bay waters a light chop. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. The tropical weather outlook. Issued at 1:10 p.m. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. This is the voice of the National Weather Service, NOAA Weather Radio, station KHP 34, broadcasting on a frequency of 162.55 megahertz, serving
KO4AZ Victor. This is WB4HG. Good evening, Amon. Please check me in for the net. KO4 Alpha Zulu Victor. This is WB4HG. Good evening, Amon. Please check me in for the net.
Good evening, Rich. I'll write you down right now.
Okay, you need to talk a little closer to the mic. I'm the first. I'm sure somebody will jump in here next. Over here, K4JCC. If you didn't copy, that's Tom and 4MEO checking in.
Yep, so got you, Rich, and Tom, and Flemio.
Well, it's a good start. We got the three of us.
Yeah, we do. I'm really getting annoyed by my cables right now. I don't have an external mic, and this LMOS 100 cable really stinks.
Yes, I think we probably need to make you some jumper cables to make it a bit easier to operate.
I guess, yeah, that'd be great.
If I don't come back every once in a while, I'm here working on things for field day. Right now I'm working on the placards that I put on the operating stations that'll be ready node, what I call November.
Oh, yeah, if I'm in fun right now, it's because I'm working on grabbing a spare cable.
around 2 feet. Period 3 seconds. Intercoast to waters a light chop. Showers likely and chance of thunderstorms in the evening, then chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Saturday, east-southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Period 4 seconds. Intercoast to waters a light chop. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. Saturday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas less than 2 feet. Intercoast to waters a light chop. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. Sunday, east-southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas less than 2 feet. Intercoast to waters a light chop. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. Sunday night.
AZB, is anyone there?
Yeah, this is pretty quiet for night.
Oh, alright. It is? I'm not usually on too early.
Yeah, we usually have JGC and a couple of other guys check in just after 7, and by now we've usually had 5 or 6 guys. We'll see, we'll make some noise. Come on, guys, check into the DCR CNET. K4OXM listening.
W1RG.
When you copy their calls, if you're there at the radio, you need to acknowledge them that you've copied them.
Alright, I have K4OXM and W1RG checked in.
Thanks, Amon.
Thank you, Amon.
No problem.
Is Amon our net control for this evening? I take that to be so. That's good if it is. Yes, roger that. Making his first debut as net control station. Congratulations, young man, because I can tell you I've never done it. Not because I can't, because I don't want to. K407.
Here, I don't know if I don't want to if I've never tried it.
Come on, you did receive the email with the document that has all the stuff that you say at the beginning of the net and what you say at the end of the net?
Roger, roger. And I printed it out, and so now it's sitting in front of me.
Okay, very good. Just remember, take your time. Nobody's going anywhere in a hurry. And these are all your friends here. They want you to do well with it.
All right, thank you.
This is WB4BAG checking in.
Roger, I've got you checked in, Fred.
Well, thank you, Amon. I also have announcements.
Alright, I'll put you in as early and announcement.
Fred, I sent you a document a little while ago. Did you get it? Yes, I did. I wanted to print it out, but my printer doesn't print red very well, my cartridge as well. So I'm going to watch it on the screen, hopefully. I sent you a text back. Oh, okay. Sorry to get that to you so late. I've been in here just going constantly since around 11. I moved from my desk over here to the radio, so things don't exactly match up. I will go check email. No, I sent it on your phone, actually. Amazing. Phones that take messages. I couldn't copy them. Oh, wow. I totally forgot about it. I wanted to do a test session. Glad you remembered. I remembered a photographer maybe a week ago, and I forgot to put it down, so I'm glad you did. Usually Jim, JGC, does photography for us. I've noticed he's not checked in yet tonight. That's unusual.
Maybe he's got to do work?
No, Jim's about 110 years old, and he doesn't work anymore.
Then I have no clue.
Well, with people who are 110 years old, you start worrying if you don't hear from them in a while.
He does still work.
Say again?
He does still work. He goes and tests the dogs at Fort Lauderdale Airport.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yep, I guess he still does work. He's not really 110, he's only 105.
He's 80-something. I'm not sure just how old. I know he's one of the few that's older than I am. But, yeah, he said goes in at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my God. And tests the dog. Doing Archie.
So he likes what? Testing to see if they're dogs?
No, they give him something that smells like something he's not supposed to have, and he tries to go through security, and the dogs are supposed to catch him.
Sure, I know that it just sounded funnier the other way. I'll be back. Oh, Amon's our net control, so everybody be behave, and I don't overwhelm him. And I'll be back in time for starting that. I gotta drop out right now.
Alright, see you at the net, Rick. Can anyone tell me who K4OXM name is?
Well, we got lots of names for him, but we usually call him Sandy.
I go by Swanky, I go by Sandy, Lamont, whatever you want to call me is fine.
Alright, I'll put in Swanky.
Attaboy, Swanky it is. We're a few minutes away from open. I haven't put out the volunteer request yet. Not sure why that people volunteer request. Other people are not like signed up to do various duties, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to discuss that tonight. There's a draft procedure out that we're going to discuss. Then it's going to be finalized by the middle of next week, and somewhere along during this process, we'll be calling for volunteers. Yeah, QSL, I know it's been a hard time, hard pressed, a whole different field day, but just curious, that's all, because I never had a lot of volunteers that people did, in the meetings, where people did show up and do their due diligence and things like that.
Maybe it's because people don't want to have to be tied down on a commitment.
Well, you have a very valid point there, and in my experience, what happens is that if you get people to volunteer early, for whatever reason, they change their mind down the road, and then you're left, holding the bag, so to speak. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad by last minute volunteers, because you know what? As a whole, around the club, they really come together. Trust me, I've done this for a number of years. They really do. When push comes to shove, they're there for you. Okay, well, okay. Well, I think we're going to leave it open, but we'll discuss it tonight and see what the best procedure is. We're in a more secure place, so we don't have to have somebody at the location at all times. WB4BAG. I'll let you explain that during the next. Don't get into it now. All right, I'm listening. I'm on the side. Take over.
Do you guys want me to go from person to person during the net, or should we just do a big conversation?
Amon, I think the plan is that at the appropriate time you'll turn the discussion over to Rich and I. We'll go through the points that we've developed on the procedures. We'll get input, and then when the discussion's over, we'll turn everything back to you.
All right, got it. And 2 minutes to 10. One minute to net.
W6BXQ. Rich, are you on the air there?
Yes, but Amon's going to be NCS, and we're less than a minute from check-in time.
Okay, I just got a text from Jim. He is unavailable tonight or tomorrow, but he is going to be listening on YouTube, he said.
Well, then I hope YouTube is too.
And Jim is K4JGC, right?
Roger.
And you can also check in W4BAG. That's Bruce.
QST, calling all radio amateurs. This is KO4 AZV inviting everyone to join the Dcarc RFNet. My name is Amon and I will be net control for this evening. This net is a directed, informal net for the purpose of sharing information, keeping up on the latest happenings within Dcarc and the world. After checking in, you need not get permission to leave the net. We encourage those checking in to ask questions. Those questions may be the same that others have, but are still good to ask. If you ask a question, all those listening could benefit from it. There is no such thing as a failure to the question. Comments are also welcome. Tell us about your latest rig, tell us about your new rig, your latest Dcarc source, your new antenna, etc. Let us know what you think about our club activities. There is courtesy beep on this occasion, so please wait for the beep, and maybe a little bit long, before being up. The beep sounds like this. There is also a 3-minute timeout timer that will cut you off if you get too long-winded or ignore the courtesy. I'm going to ask your check-ins by category. Please only say your call when I ask for check-ins in your category. I promise you that everyone who gets into the repeater will be checked in. When calling, please say your call slowly using phonetics and tell me your name. Are there any stations with emergency traffic? Only stations with emergency traffic call now. Are there any stations with emergency traffic? Stations with emergency traffic can interrupt at any time. I am now taking seconds from stations who are short of time. Only stations who are short of time call now. Are there any other stations who are short of time? Only stations who are short of time call now. I am now taking seconds from stations with announcements. Only stations with announcements call now. Are there any stations with announcements? Only stations with announcements, please.
Must only be me, Amon.
Okay. I am now taking general check-ins. Please state your call slowly using phonetics and your name. All stations call now.
Whiskey 6 Bravo X-Ray Quebec John.
NHTR.
Okay, I have W6DXQ and NATR. Are there any other stations are there any other general check-in stations? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Fred for announcements.
Thanks, Amon. Good evening to everybody. Regular announcement, Falcon Pub's open tomorrow for lunch again. West Side of University Drive, north of 30th Street, begins at 11:30. Masks are required to meet the county requirements. Let's see, end of June, 27-28 is field day. We have a field day draft procedure that will be discussed tonight and approved by Grant by Wednesday on 6/24. The trailer will be worked on again this weekend. Email me directly. I'll send you directions to the workshop for Sunday after 1 o'clock for those that want to help out doing preparation work on the trailer. This last one is actually a report, but we got the Treasury transferred over to the new treasurer, Bruce, WB4BAE, and I want to thank Don, KI6KNM, and Rich, WB4EHG, for all of you guys meeting at the bank at the same time to get this done. It took a long time, and the virus didn't help, and we finally got this done. So just a little side note, Neil, you're going to see reimbursement real soon. WB4BAG back to net control.
Okay, so is there anything we need to ask, or I guess I'll turn it over to WB4EHD, Rick?
No, I'm going to let Fred lead this one, please.
Okay, Fred, back to you.
Okay, hold on, I got a computer issue here. Unless, of course, Fred wants me to lead it, and I will, but you know what I mean. On the procedures for field day, everything is not done. The draft will have to be approved by Grant and then finalized no later than this coming Wednesday. Let's start at the beginning. And there's no way for anyone... to follow along except verbally. All right, the location this year is not going to be at Markham due to COVID-19 restrictions, so we're going to set it up behind my workshop. The setup begins Friday afternoon after 2 p.m. But there was a question, Rich was asking, if we set up starting Saturday morning, we can operate 27 hours. Any comments on when to begin setting up? Should we take advantage of that or not?
Yeah, there's a certain time on Saturday that you can't start before, and I don't know what that is, Fred. We'd have to be aware of that.
I believe it's 24 hours before.
Well, we can do 27 hours if we start setup after a certain time Saturday. Fred, you need to look that up if you want that to be a choice.
Well, my thought was I put that information in there, but I also know that by the time we get to 2 o'clock on Sunday, we're all pretty exhausted and dehydrated and want to get out of the heat and the rain. So in the past, it hasn't made any difference. The question is, do we want to try it this time, or just go with what we usually do? We usually set up on Friday, operate Saturday.
Do we usually set up in under 3 hours?
Well, another thing is that whatever setup time you use Saturday has to be part of the 27 hours. So if it takes 3 hours to set up, we haven't gained anything.
Considering that we're using the trailer, which has the tower mounted on it, and all we got to do is put the beam and a wire dipole hanging off of it. In the past, we've stood up tower sections, we've stood up all kinds of antennas with peak seating, and it doesn't seem that we have really enough people that want to operate to keep all those working this time. So using the trailer saves easily a third of the work.
Well, I'll go with either one, Rich, but don't forget to bring the pieces of that beam tomorrow if you want me to set it up over this next week and make sure it's working right.
I'm glad you said that. I forgot I said I'd go to bring it tomorrow. I'll make a note.
Or more than 3 hours?
I'm sorry, Amon, I doubled with you. You go.
Do we usually set up in more than 3 hours or less than 3 hours?
Well, we would normally go out to Markham, say, after lunch, right, 1:30 or something, and we set up what we could, and then the next morning we finished setting up. 3 hours, because of all the work that we did with antennas in the past, and stretching power cables over a whole pavilion, getting the coax and the power cables up in the air where people won't trip on them, getting the tables aligned and set up, running all the power strips. It is a lot of work that we just don't have this time since everything's self-contained.
So the knowing the possibility to set it up in under 2 hours, we're at.
Yes, okay. We're not going to put up another, well, if we put up another antenna, it'll be down and I can do that. Have two stations in the trailer. We'll have one on the south side of the trailer with the canopy. So we'll have two canopies set up, one on the trailer and one to hang out in. Power cables will all be coming from the controller, the trailer, except for the 120, which is easy to drag out there because we're only going to this type of. Yes, I think we can do it in 3 hours. Then the question becomes whether we want to end at 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. on Sunday afternoon.
No, because if it takes 3 hours to set up, and we're doing it Saturday, then we only have 24 hours left to operate anyway.
Yeah, but I think the 3 hours is added to the end, isn't it?
The 3 hours has to be part of the 27 hours total, whenever that time starts. And if you want to do 3 hours and then do 24 hours, so you do 27 hours all in one day, for that day, not 27, well, you know what I mean. I said that wrong, but it's, well, I would basically prefer to do some setup on Friday, but it is easier setup than we normally have, so I'll go along with whatever everybody wants, of course.
CR? Yeah, Pete, go ahead.
Let's just keep it 24 hours, not working.
I think the same thing.
Are you? I agree. Me too.
So in that case, we can do a little bit of the setup work of running cables, and which was our feeder run on Friday, and then set up before 2 o'clock, finish setting up before 2 o'clock on Saturday, and then do the 24 hours. That sounds fine.
So does anyone disagree?
If you're going to start at 2 o'clock on Saturday, I don't think there's any reason to even do anything on Friday. The setup is going to be quick, under 2 hours. Tom sent a text. In the past couple of years, we set up Saturday and tore down Sunday at 2 p.m. I think we set up Saturday morning and was operating by 2 o'clock. It's just whether we want to add the Friday to the setup. Well, speaking personally for me, and nobody else needs to go, I think I would go out Friday afternoon, make sure our laptops and radios were working and have them staged in the trailer. Then we can do the really hard stuff Saturday.
Hey, that would work for me, Rich. I can bring the 6-meter antenna back that Friday, and then you and I can set that up along with some of the other stuff. So there's that much less to do Saturday. How's that sound?
If Fred and Grant approve, yes. Well, I think it's Grant, but I don't see any problem with it. Now let's get to the next. Let's go. Tom, yeah, I got your message, and thank you very much. The next is who will assist in the setup. We need to get volunteers besides the few that have just mentioned. Should we send out a list? What should we do?
Draft.
Okay, Bert, draw straws.
What am I?
Draw straws.
Conscription.
Well, yeah. If we weren't a club, we could do that.
I'm joking, but it seems like we've never had a bunch of people saying they will or they won't, but generally enough people show up to get it done. Seems to me that has happened that way in the past. Definitely wouldn't hurt to try to get some numbers from people. Maybe on the groups.io you might send out a question.
Well, groups.io is a good idea. I think we can tell them when we're doing the setup and invite anybody who feels comfortable enough to come out and help. Well, we do need to alert people that it's going to be a little harder to get to your shop where we'll be set up. Not harder as in it's not obvious how to get there. People are going to have to know that how to get there.
Yeah, that's where Google Maps came in the first time I drove myself to Fred's house.
Well, that gets you to his house, not to the shop. Anybody that emails me, I can send them directions as I usually do.
Well, Rich, I had been to his house before. That was the first time I drove myself. So I guess that doesn't really count with what you're saying.
I can make a really big sign that says this way.
Actually, Tom has a couple of signs. We're going to put one of them up.
And then put one in that first gate there you drive through by the house, pointing toward the back.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, and I think we're going to stick with Groups.io for making the announcements. Tom agrees with that too. All right, how about if we go on to the next? Provisions for food, drinks, additional tents, shelter, any comments on that? Well, with additional tents and coverings, I have a canopy that Buzz gave me before he moved. It was for the club. It's in my garage. I have never tried setting it up. I'm pretty inept at doing those things, but he can certainly bring that out. Neil says that the one that the tarp that we usually put up on the side of the trailer is in the trailer, so we would be able to do that one. We may have enough coverings. Maybe we just need some more chairs. Are you Neil?
Yeah, as far as the tarp and that, I'll set that up. I know how it goes. Originally it was tied up on the upper part on the PVC antenna rack, so I would have to improvise a little bit of a different setup. But I can take care of that, and I believe I have about a 10-foot screened thing. As a matter of fact, it's brand new in the box. Was never opened, and I could bring that for, bug control.
Okay, I also have a 10 by 10, one of those accordion type gazebo square. Everybody, 4 people pull them apart and the thing pops up, but it's a cover only. There's no sides to it. Also, we're going to leave the back roll-up door to the workshop and that bay open for use too. Okay, well, that took care of tents. What about food and drinks? We got to have some refreshments there, and I don't think anything's left over from Winterfield Day, WB4BAG.
I can bring some Coke and some water, KO4HFP.
Well, how about if we do the same thing, Amon, that we're going to do on volunteers and put it out on Groups.io and get people to commit to bringing different things over the weekend.
Perfect.
Okay, let me go to the next subject. Operation will be on emergency power, which for us will be the genset solar. We can use an extension cord from the mains, I think, to run the air conditioner, but all the rigs will be run on the emergency power for the additional point. I believe we're entering under Class 2A, which is 2 simultaneous transmitters, not run on power mains. And I think Rich has got the networked laptops under control. Is that right? Yes, we have three laptops that are configured to talk to a specific radio. I have one here. For the first time I got this radio working, FT8. We can do FT8 on some computers. Stand by. You have to be careful. N1MM wants to do an update, and that did us at Winter Field Day. One of the laptops updated and the other two didn't. We either have to let all three of them do the update, say Friday afternoon when we're out there, or stop all of them from doing the update so we don't get hit by that again.
Rich, but the update only takes about 2 minutes each.
Well, there's the complication of not having internet out where we are, so we have to tether to a phone. Although I suppose I could try to remember to download it and put it on a thumb drive.
Okay, what about the antennas? I think, Rich, you made some comments regarding the antennas that we're going to put up already?
We're only doing 2 stations instead of 3, and we're not going to do a coda. We really only need 2 antennas. So the tri-band beam on the top, rotated by a rope, it's called the Armstrong rotator. And we have a dipole in the trailer, and I have one here as well. I'm not sure it actually, well, never mind. We could set up for 20 through 10 on speed. And with our filters and our triplexer, we can have 2 stations operating off the beam as long as they're on different bands. And the wire dipole using your device that you made could be worked with the wire antenna so that we can operate 40 or 80 on that. So really, and 6 meters if we put up 6 meters, but again, that's John and me, and it's relatively easy.
Well, the 6 will be the third transmitter, right?
No, we get VHF for free.
Well, I mean, physically it'll be a third, yes.
Yes, the station, the laptop, and the transmitter that are behind me right now, operating FT8, will be our third station for VHF, UHF.
Okay, anyone else have any comments up to this point? Okay, I had another comment, but I think we went over it. A list of items to be brought in from off-site, who will bring what. I think that ties into the volunteers we're going to be asking as far as drinks and food and other things. Let's see. Under operation, should we create a list of operators committed to scheduling, or just random invitations and who shows up gets to operate? Any comments? Come now.
In the past, we have tried to have people schedule time. One of these field days, I set up an Excel spreadsheet. People were supposed to email me with what bands and what times they wanted. I made a big one that is the drive marking things on it so that we could fill it up out at field day, and nobody ever used any of it. People show up and operate when they want to and rarely commit to doing anything.
We also thought of using Groups.io to ask for operators when things got slow and alert the members to watch Groups.io for email. Do you think we'll be successful with that?
I don't know. I'm not sure how immediate Groups.io is. If people are sitting in front of their computers texting their phones, would be a lot better. But I probably shouldn't do that. We can, again, when we send out to emails to Groups.io, ask people if they would please operate, tell us when they would like to be out there, or just stop by. There's usually a radio available.
We could use a Groups.io poll as one of their surveys. We could just do one of those and then have them write down the call sign and when they're going to do it.
I don't know if we know how to do that, Amon.
I mean, I can help you or I can do it if you want.
Besides, nobody pretty much ever cooperated much with trying to set up a schedule ahead of time in the past, so we could try it, but I have my doubts that it'll work, to tell you the truth.
Actually, I like Amon's idea. We could do that not only with operating time, but people scheduling or committing to bring drink items. That would be great.
All right, so just send me the criteria you need, and I'll make a little form.
Well, won't that also then let everybody see who's committed to what? That may work out even better.
It's a good idea for the food and stuff, and if people do sign up for operating times, it would be even better.
Okay, great. So start making one of those.
Amon, I think the trick is to take a procedure that's designed for polling and turn it into a procedure that's designed for volunteering. It may take a little bit of work and trickery. If you can do it, that would be terrific.
I'll try, and if I can't, I'll just send a link to a Google form.
All right, that's great. Let's see, next item, as everybody knows, we've been talking about for several weeks. If you operate under the club's call using the club station, it doesn't disqualify somebody, an operator, from operating their home station, either Class D or Class E, and designating the club on their submitted log for club credit. So hopefully this year we'll get a lot of additional credit. I just wanted to throw that comment out. Anybody have anything to add to that?
Yeah, if you're at home operating like that, that's fine. What you said is correct, but you are not allowed to work the club from home for field day. That would disqualify you from being able to go to the club and operate the club station.
Or you? Neil? I missed when you were talking about the antennas. You're going to have the tri-bander up. What are you going to have for a wire?
We have at least a 40-meter dipole there in the trailer, and I've got another one here. As I said earlier, we use the contraption that Fred created with PVC to stand it away from the tower. We'll set it up as an inverted V, so we need something for each end type.
So basically you will have something for 40. Anything for 80?
I don't know if the antenna that's in the trailer does 80 meters as well. We'll have to check. The one that I have does not.
No, I don't think so. Okay, back to Nat.
PR?
Yeah, Pete.
I think the dipole that's in the trailer, unless it's been modified, works both 40 and 80. And there's also a besides having the tri-bander, the 3-element tri-bander, there's a second either 3-element or monoband tri-bander that does 10, 15, and 20. It's in another one of those tubes. So you got two tri-banders for sure in the tube.
Yeah, but we have the triplexer, Pete. We don't need two antennas up there.
Yeah, you do. What are you going to do if you want to operate 20 CW and 20 sidebands at the same time?
I don't believe we have an antenna support to put up a second tri-bander the way we've been planning.
Group operating is going to be smaller with the conditions we have.
Okay, do it your way.
You know, we have that portable antenna, though.
Wouldn't hurt to set that up. Hey, Fred, just a question. Did you get what I said about operating from home and all that? And right after that, Neil asked about the antenna.
Yeah, I believe that's, I actually put a note somewhere. That's under Rule 6.1 through 6.10, I think. But, yeah, there is a restriction. You just have to be careful.
Okay, W6BXQ for id.
Oh, and the comment on Pete. Yeah, Pete, first of all, we've used both the tri-bander beam and that second tri-bander, the driven element, just as a horizontal dipole tri-bander at the top of the mast, at the top of the tower, and it worked great. The best thing is that here is that you got also the dipole is both 4080, so we answered, I think, Neil's question about that. WB4BAG. Any other comments? Okay. Moving on. Bonus points. I'm going to list a few things that we're going to be listing in these procedures to decide what we're going to be doing. We know emergency power we meet. Media publicity. We need someone to advertise us on Facebook. We need a public location. I'm not sure whether we qualify there. Public info table, if we are public location. We need to be able to send a message to the section manager. And let's see. We have to, there's some points for message handling. Any comments so far on those few items?
A question about sending the message to the section manager. We're not supposed to use repeaters for field day operations. However, one of the ways to send in a message is the 6 p.m. daily traffic net. Can we use the traffic net through repeaters to send the message?
Interesting question. I think we'd have to look through the rules and see what's acceptable and what's not. I'm sorry, Pete, say that again?
We can use any repeater to send a message.
Well, I think we just can't use repeaters for points on QSOs and contacts.
That's exactly right.
So that might answer Rich's question.
Yes, it is. All we have to do is form a properly formatted message, which you ought to be able to find online. And at 6 o'clock, forward, I think it's 146.64, 361, 3 times move around. And check into the traffic net to send a message. And since it's VHF, it does not require us to take one of our ATF stations altogether.
It's definitely not 6.4.
And I thought of that as that's your repeater as I was thinking. It's got to be 6.1.
Yeah, and we can copy the field day message from ARRL. It's CW, but it's also on teletype and probably at least one other digital mode. We copied that's ahead of time, so that can be copied from somebody at somebody's house. There's no restriction on where you get that from. If you're copying it off the air.
And remember some use points for me.
So yeah, we hadn't gotten that far yet, Amon.
So yes, John doesn't have a copy of the document either. Sorry, guys. Yes, I noticed that we can copy the bulletin on Friday night, and if we screw it up, we can try it again on Saturday night.
Yeah, I got 100% copy on. I was listening to two bands at once, Yeah, 40 and 20, and I think 20 is the one that I copied. Got 100% copy on the teletype part of the message.
So the document that Fred and Anson and I have has the operating schedule. Move on to the next, I think, satellite QSO. Are we going to attempt that?
I'd be willing to try that if someone can help me.
Well, we need the right antenna with the right polarization. They're funky looking things. We've had somebody in the past who did it, and I just can't remember who. Do you remember who copied that in the past? I remember the antenna being at Winter Field Day.
Yeah, Bill, MZ5N and I did the satellite. Problem is, this time I'm not going to be there. So, without me being there, and I don't know where Bill is.
Yeah, I think I heard Tom in there. Listen, last year we did not do a satellite contact since I'm the one that put the log together to send in. We did not get the extra points for that last year, so it might be something to think about. See if somebody can pull it off.
Tom texted and said that his Bill Racist, R-A-F-U-S, made the satellite contact.
I thought it was Bill MZ5N.
Meet at the same time. What did you say, Rich? I'm sorry. That Tom had sent a text that said Bill Racist, R-A-F-U-S, was the guy who had done the contact. And I think somebody doubled with you. I think it might have been Keith.
Yeah, and I said I thought it was Bill MZ5N. But whatever. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, Tom says Bill's a member.
There's a lot of little things we need. We should try to get a hold of Bill and whoever else. That's another great Groups IO thing. See if, put out that we need somebody to make satellite contact. We get bonus points for having a safety officer and a checklist and all sorts of little extras like that. We can discuss a lot of that tomorrow at lunch or something rather than trying to work it all out on the radio.
I think we were just mostly trying to go through it to see what the interest was in attempting.
Well, Tom was our safety officer last year, and he supplied me with a might have been a Word document. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was able to submit that along with the other stuff and get the points last year.
Well, John, if you could let us get to it, all that stuff is in the draft that we're working from. Give us a few seconds to get to all these points.
Okay, good deal.
Well,
Who's volunteering to be safety officer? Tom? Is Tom going to be safety officer still?
Tom says he is the safety officer.
I'll take that as a yes till he says no.
Okay, Tom, if you're going to do that, I'm assuming you're listening. Anytime, I'm probably going to be the one to send the thing in again. If you can get that to me as a Word document or something. Anytime, I guess not right now, but whenever you can, right after field day perhaps, or during it.
We could probably edit the one from last year and just change the date. Also going to say that the safety officer will require us all to have hard hats, and we need to make sure we have a fire extinguisher.
I saw the fire extinguisher on Sunday.
We have 2 fire extinguishers for the club last time I looked, donated by my friend with the fire equipment company. So we should have those. 2 of them, one for the generator and one to keep it in the trailer.
He went with the trailer.
Well, Amon just said that he saw them, or saw one last Sunday when we were there.
The one's hanging and the other one I think is loose. All right, well, we can get fire extinguishers. I think I got some extra ones somewhere in the one of the buildings.
We have fire extinguishers already, Fred.
Fred, we have 2 donated. They're brand new, full, taken care of and tagged.
Yeah, we're just not 100% sure where they are, but the trailer would be the best bet, so this is something we'll look at.
Officials or an agency representative, we going to attempt to do anything like that? Any interest there?
Missed your question because Rich is stronger than you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rich, go ahead first.
No, if I'm stronger, they already heard what I said. You go.
Wait. I forgot what I was going to say. Site visits. Elected official, agency rep, there's some points for each of those. We're going to attempt to invite somebody.
You can invite them. I mean, they're going to show up.
True, but if you don't invite them, you're sure they are not going to show up.
Somebody to come to your house this year.
This time Fred was stronger and Rich was weaker.
No, I think that was John.
The insulted is terrible.
Yeah, that was me. I was saying we were able to get them to come last year. All we can do is invite them, like Pete said, and either they'll come or they don't.
Wait, who came last year?
I don't know, whoever, ARRL section manager, whoever it was, I don't remember.
Yeah, but these are government officials they're talking about.
Oh, I thought they were, okay, never mind. That's different. Well, some police officer showed up unofficially and was sitting there talking to us. Does that count?
Yeah, for credit last year, I guess.
We didn't think early enough this year to go after inviting the Davie mayor and the council and going for a proclamation, which we did do last year, the year before. So we're kind of out of the running for that. I'm not sure there's enough time.
We did have a proclamation.
Pete, what about a proclamation?
I said we did have a proclamation.
Yes, and I was the guy who got to go to the Davie Town Council meeting and stand up in front of the council and explain to them who we are and what was going on, and then they took my picture. but they did give us a proclamation, but it takes some time to do that. We actually got two, Cooper City and Davie. So I don't think it was last year, I think it was 2 years ago. In any case, we need to start early. The last week is kind of quick.
Yeah, agreed. Well, what about social media promotion?
Didn't we cover that in having somebody do Facebook? I think you mentioned that already.
Just post one picture with hashtag DCARC and hashtag Feel Good.
Yeah, well, I think you only need Facebook, and somebody can put something up. That'll give us more credit.
We do need to have a screen capture that is actually on the plate.
It would be good to have that, but about half the stuff I sent in last year, Rich, was you told them you had it, but you didn't have to send proof. So, and some of it they did want documents, so luckily I was able to supply documents for all the ones that they wanted, but not everything was necessary to document that they had to see it.
Okay, how about if we move into overnight? We'll be open for operation as long as someone remains, similar to winter field day, and then we'll secure the equipment until the next morning, which will be Sunday morning, unless somebody provides notice that they plan to be there later that night. We'll make provisions to keep it open for them. And, of course, would always be open to a volunteer to stay in or near the trailer overnight. Any comments on that? Of course, it begins right after field day ends, and we want to make it as quickly as possible. I have a note here that the laptops go to Rich or John for extracting the logs. Any comments there?
Yeah, well, I've never extracted logs from that, but Rich has, so I think he'd be the one to do the log extraction. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, that's fine. So for some reason, I'm not there to take them home when we enter or when we end. We just leave them with Fred or with the trailer, and I can get them the next time, a couple days, whatever, and get the files extracted and get everything to John. John will be doing putting our score together and justifying what we have and sending it off the online site.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, actually. I went last year and bought a big envelope at Office Max and then discovered I could do it online, so I didn't need to use the envelope.
In a pinch, I've extracted logs too, so I can always be the backup.
We should probably throw in our call sign. This is WB4EHG.
WB4BAG for ID.
W6BXQ, just for heck.
KO4AZB, just for no reason.
Tom made a comment that the forms are in the rules, but those would be paper forms, wouldn't they?
No, they've got an online entry site.
Well, I used the paper form to fill in, to get everything filled in, and then when I went online, I had a pretty good idea what I was going to put where, so that's pretty good. I think I like to do that if I'm going to fill in something online. A lot of times I like to take a paper form for it and have it just fill it in ahead of time. Makes it easier to do the online.
Okay, I'm sure you guys can work that out. All right, the last notes I have, home station, Class B or Class C. Class B is a home station run on mains. Class E is run on emergency power. I think Dan Cutney is going to run emergency power, and we don't know. We don't have any comments from others. Of course, going back to the same note, you can operate the club station for club points, and also at other times operate from your home station using your own station call. You get personal points plus points for the club when you designate the club on your log. I think we can expand that out on Groups.io and tell our members what they would need to do in order to give the club credit if they participate in field day at their own QTH. I had a note that rules can be found here, but I think it got erased somehow. But that's www.arrl.org /field-day-rules. Any comments?
Yeah, just don't work the club for points from your home station.
Also, I've had the question, can we get points from the operators from another club? Can the club share points, or is it just individuals? Yes, Dan, W4DRK, said he would be operating with emergency powers, and he will send us points as well.
He doesn't have to send us points. All he has to do is put our club name. I think it's line 2 of the form you fill out. There's a space for putting a club name, and you just put our club name in there, and that's all you have to do to make your entry also count for a club.
Okay, but do we put in DCARC or David Cooper City Amateur Radio Club?
So I'd spell it out to make sure.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's on the website if anybody cares to see the exact specific name. Because we are now incorporated, we have to use the full name.
Okay, there was one other thing. Oh, testing. And thanks, Bruce, for reminding me. We need to come up with a time and date over that weekend where we would hold some testing. And I'm going to leave that kind of open because I would imagine Tom is going to want to weigh in on this. We'd like to hold a testing session because we've had a number of people, including our own club members, ask about another test date before July 1st. This would give us a perfect opportunity. Any comments? WB4BAG. Hearing none. All right, tell you what, we'll go back and forth with Tom and, wait, got a message. Okay, Tom suggests testing would be Sunday at 11 a.m. If nobody objects to that, that's the only suggestion that's been put forth, so we could go with that. Any comments back?
Would be, do we want to advertise that on the website and via Groups.io?
Well, I think we want to get it out to at least our own members. We have a few people that have contacted us that haven't taken a test yet, or hadn't taken the first one, so we'd want to re-contact them. I don't know how far we actually want to advertise it. I'm open, so we've got a little time to discuss it.
It depends if you can get enough VEs to say they'll do it before you do too much advertising of it.
Well, Tom is in. I guess, Rich, you might be in. Who would be our third?
Yes, I will be there.
All right, then, if we'll solicit for a third, and if we get a third, we'll advertise that time. Any other comments?
Boy, a long announcement phase to the net tonight.
No, we're in discussion. This is like new business.
Oh, really? Because, well, never mind. As far as I know, we're still, as far as where we are in calling people and stuff, it was, last I heard, we're still in the announcement phase.
No, I thought I moved it, I thought I called the general check-in.
Right, you got the general check-ins, but then you didn't go back so far and go down the list of check-ins to see if anybody has anything. I think maybe we sort of went by that kind of by accident.
No, Amon can call all the check-ins because we're just about done. Does anybody have any other comments on this? And then we can turn it back over to net control. Okay, Amon, how about proceeding? I think we beat it to death. WB4BAG.
Okay, should I go first person and go down the list to see if anyone has anything else to say?
Yeah, I think that would work well.
Okay, first on the list is WB4EHD Rich.
Well, good evening, everybody, and happy field day. No, I don't have anything more to add. I'm kind of hoping HB4BAR will arrive soon. If not, I'll just, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow anyway. So, B4HD.
Alright, thank you, Rich. Next we have N4MEO Tom.
I think Tom's been commenting mostly by text, and we've been verbalizing it. Thanks, Tom, for all of the comments you were able to provide on the field day. Back to net.
Okay, thank you, Tom and Fred. Next we have K4OXM 20.
You're on the wrong list.
No, K4, I took early check-ins today.
Knowing Swanky as I do, I'm pretty sure we're not going to hear him from him the rest of this evening, so we'll move on.
Okay, next we have W1RG Rich.
Well, good evening, everybody. I've been listening. I'll be unable to participate there at Fred's field day, but I do have an idea that later on the afternoon of Saturday I may be able to get on the air. And as far as the testing goes, I'm in the middle of the church service when I'm going to start that, so I'm going to be unable to participate there. So, darn, over. Other than that, things have been going smoothly. It's wet down here in Hialeah, and I imagine it's wet up there as well. That's it for me. W1RG, back to net.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Next we have WB4BAG Fred. Anything else?
No, I think I'm talked out, but yeah, I'm looking forward to lunch tomorrow. Maybe we can iron a few of these things out. I'll try and make some additional notes tonight. And if we can get that third PE for Sunday at 11, I think that'll put my mind at rest that we've accomplished the testing phase. Back to net, WB4BAG.
Thank you, Fred. Next we have WB2RUU Neil.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. No, nothing special. We had a good net tonight, and thank you, Amon. And we'll be at lunch tomorrow. Back to net.
Okay, thank you, Neil. W6BXQ, John, you're up.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I don't have much that's been happening here. It's wet here, too. Rained on and off all day. It's not raining now, but, you know. Nothing exciting. Haven't worked any good DX or done much on 6 meters, although according to the propagation map, it's been open quite a bit. In fact, it might even be open a little bit. So that's central and northern Florida, nothing down here. That's the way it is sometimes. I guess that's about all. I'll see some of you guys at lunch tomorrow. And in case you wonder, you have to walk in with the mask on. When you get to the table, you take the mask off. I mean, they don't expect you to try to eat with the mask on. And just another reminder, Rich, 6-meter antenna. I will see you all, 73, and I'll be here for the rest of the net, W6BXQ.
Thank you, John. K4JGC and W4BAE both can't transmit, so NATR, Pete, you're up.
Good evening, everybody. This is Pete on ATR, and I think I said everything I need to say. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Pete. So thanks to those who checked in this evening. Your questions and comments made for an interesting net. Thanks to Michael and 4RQY for the use of the repeater. This concludes the session of the DCARC RFNet. I am now returning the repeater to regular use. 73 and good evening to all. KO4AZD.
Yeah, great job, Amon, but I might make one suggestion. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, but after you've gone through everybody like we just did, it might not be a bad idea to check for late check-ins, but tonight I don't think you have to. It's already an hour after the beginning of the net, so just a thought for the next time you do it. Otherwise, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, W3C did great. Come on, you're a natural at this.
Thank you. I read through the script a lot.
I think we should vote him in as the permanent net control.
I do have a suggestion in general, which I suggested to Rich and Fred one day, is that before we do the whole preamble for the net is the time to check for emergency traffic right away as soon as you start. It's a very minor thing, but in my opinion, we should change the net preamble to do that. But that's just a thought.
Yeah, that's a task for the net manager, not the individual MCSs. So I will take it under advisement.
Right, and the net control stations can do that first if they want to. I mean, that's part of the deal. Is we don't have to do that word for word, although it's good to stick close to it. Anyway, just a thought. W6BXQ.
Just a note, Bruce set up YouTube. Everybody should check in and subscribe and press the little bell so you'll be notified. Come in handy. WBUR YouTube.
Permanent address. Bruce created an account for it. Post that on the website on the landing page, along with the net announcement, as well as on the about page.
Bruce actually has an image of what the waveform looks like right now on the YouTube.
Okay, how's it look?
It looks pretty cool.
Now, one thing you notice is that voices do not look like music or sound. I'm going to jump out of here, guys. Diane just did get home, so I'm going to go. Talk to you guys tomorrow at lunch. I'm on once again. Great job. You're going to be great at this.
Okay, thank you. It looks like it's time for dinner for me, so 73, good evening to all. KO4 AZD, sir.
Yeah, Rich, I hope you got the pictures of our new mobile setup for field day.
When Fred's looking for a net control 3 or 4 days ahead of time, you'll probably get a text like the rest of us do. Can you do it? So be prepared for that. But I think you're, like I already said, you did a good job.
Come on, John. You know Fred doesn't send the begging for help emails.
No, Rich does.
Good night.
I thought I said Rich, but who knows? I'm an old guy. You got to remember that. Not elderly, but old. 73, everybody, I guess. See you all later, W6PX kid.